I guess just an easy question here, just a softball. Like, how did this sort of project come together? This film.
You want to take this?
Well, I'd never heard of Guy Clarke before I met Tamara, and she's the world's biggest Guy Clarke fan. So it just sort of happened that she was, all things Guy Clarke. So when she started writing a book about Guy, and somehow that evolved into a documentary, and maybe you can elaborate.
Yeah, so Guy and I were working on the book about him for 8 years. We were pretty much joined at the hip working on that book, and that was quite a difficult project. And I was feeling overwhelmed, and I had missed several deadlines. And during that time, a filmmaker approached Guy about doing a documentary, and frankly, Guy just did not want to start over with someone else. And so he told me that if there was going to be a documentary, I had to do it. Um,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, I was kind of like, "What?" And
Yeah.
so I asked Paul, who's also my husband, and a video guy and really smart and gets that world, that filmmaking world. I asked him if he would do it with me, and he said yes. I don't know, he might be regretting that now, but but here we are.
I doubt it. I doubt it. It's a wonderful film, for sure. I'm sure putting it together was, I'm sure at times trying, right? But overall, the end product is so many people get to enjoy. So we all get the fruits of your labor, I guess.
Well, we didn't really have a plan when we started. We
Yeah.
just
Wow.
knew that we wanted to interview Guy on camera, and so we had a thought in our mind. We talked about uh, documentaries that we liked and styles that we liked and techniques that we liked, and so we went and we were just going to interview Guy on camera, and so we really didn't know what the final product was going to be, and so it evolved quite a bit from that first day we went to his house to interview him on camera, which was basically just sort of a recap of the interviews that Tamara had already done for the book. But then we were like, okay, well, how do we make a story out of this? How do we tell, how do we condense it all down? And so it evolved quite a bit through several. We made the movie probably 4 different times, over the course of the
Yeah.
project.
Like testing recipes, right? Just finding the right one that works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we had a few false starts and
we did.
restarts and everything. So
It all came together when my co-writer Bart Naggs, he and I took a screenwriting workshop in Austin, taught by Jill Chamberlain. She wrote a great book called The Nutshell Technique, and Bart and I took her workshop. And that's when Bart came up with the idea of telling the story from Susanna's perspective. And the minute he said it, I knew it was a brilliant idea. And then I called Paul and told him, and he said, "Yes, that's perfect." And so then Bart and I wrote like the beat sheet and the basic script during that workshop. That was in the winter of 2017. And that's when our storyline really came together.
yeah,
Wow. Wow.
we had gone a back and forth about how we were going to tell the story and whether we were going to have a narrator or not. And we didn't really like the idea of having a narrator because who would it be? Would it what? But when we decided to have Susanna as the narrator, because we wanted to incorporate her more in, for her to have a presence in the film,
Yeah.
and that just made it all come together after that.
See, these workshops do work, right? They
Oh, yeah,
do.
you know what?
They,
I'm a big fan of workshops. When I wrote my book, there's an author and a cartoonist, Linda Berry, and I went to several of her workshops in Chicago and Madison, Wisconsin. And without her, I never would have written the book. So, workshops are a great place for you to really dig deep into whatever creative project you're working on, and I'm a big believer in them.
did you guys find yourself, I'm sure, as you're piecing this together, right? You said you had really no idea how to get, how to start it, how to piece together the story. Did you find yourself finding new things out about these people as you're doing this, as you're piecing the story together, sort of as somebody even just watching the film, right, learn some maybe some new things about these people. Did you find yourself in sort of the same discovery process?
Well, I already knew a lot because I've written a 450-page book,
Yeah.
and spent, 8 years with Guy going through all of his stuff. However, when we started listening to Susanna's tapes, and basically they were her audio diaries, and reading Susanna's written diaries, which I did do during the book process, but I had not listened to the tapes. And yes,
Ah.
those tapes were gold, and you hear some of them in the film. And so I learned new things from Susanna's diaries. Yes.
Hey, see, there you go. That's awesome. Yeah.